What's up, guys? Mr. Lee Redmond here with episode number 3 of the Multi-Team International Series. It's going to be an episode with a slight difference, and I'll explain why in a second, because I did say in the previous one that I would actually do a 2014 review. However, something's come about which I feel would be quite nice to show you guys. As everyone remember from the previous episode, basically the World Cup qualifying campaign ended without any of the teams making it to the World Cup. China were actually out before I even started. El Salvador were practically out as well, with the fact they had played 5, lost 5. Managed to get some points there. Morocco were the ones that were really having a chance of qualifying, but I obviously lost 6-0 on aggregate in the final qualifying round to Ivory Coast. Peru had a slight chance, but we didn't start the campaign very well. Well, my game's very well, losing the first 3. Did win the last one, but wasn't too great. And Romania lost to Turkey first game, which pretty much paid to me getting through, but I did pick up some wins anyway. As I said at the end of the last episode as well, guys, 2014 was going to be a bit non-existent. Only 4 competitive games for the entire year. China's final Asian Nation Cup qualifying game against Uzbekistan, and Romania's first 3 games of the Euro qualifiers. Quick recap: Romania were drawn with Andorra, Finland, Northern Ireland, Turkey, and Belgium. And obviously, with the Euros now expanded to 2014s, we've got quite a decent chance of actually making it to the Euros. Now, guys, the reason I've come back quickly, I've gone to China as well. As I just said there, our final game in the Asian Cup qualifying was against Uzbekistan. Now the table was Uzbekistan top, I was second with 9, Iran was third with 8, and then Afghanistan bottom on 0. And the only way really to guarantee my passage was to win the game, because Iran actually had Afghanistan and I had Uzbekistan, but I was home to Uzbekistan. So what we'll do, guys, we'll quickly go into the fixture and see how we go on. As you can see, we drew 2-2. We were 1-0 up actually at half time, thanks to Yuhai, and then Najmudinov put Uzbekistan level just after half time. Hai made it 2-1 actually with 3 minutes to go, but Korbanov equalised for Uzbekistan and had it on time, which unfortunately put me with only 1 point. And as expected, Iran were about 3-0 up at half time against Afghanistan, won the game and finished second. So Uzbekistan and Iran qualified for the Asian Nation Cup, or so I thought. But as you will see, it's not actually shown you, I finished third. And the draw was 3 teams automatically qualified, with the winners and runners up from the groups, which were 6 groups if I remember correctly. No, 5 groups, sorry. So those went through, so that's another 10. And basically it turned out one of the best third place teams qualified, and that was me. I managed to qualify on goal difference thanks to the hammerings over Afghanistan and the hammering I gave Iran in the second game. So fantastically, guys, we are at the Asian Nations Cup, which, to be quite honest, you would expect anyway with China. Even though they're not a powerhouse anymore, they used to be a decent team. And here's the qualifiers: Australia, Japan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Uzbekistan, Iraq, Bahrain, Jordan, Lebanon, Kuwait, Iran and China. I'm actually quite highly ranked in Asia. I was actually surprised. I thought I was going to be the lowest ranked, but I think I'm above Kuwait. I think I'm above Lebanon as well, and possibly Jordan. I can't quite remember. But we are about in the middle, to say the least, I'd say. So that's all good. But the reason, guys, I've come back this early is we've actually got, as I said, as I may have mentioned in the previous episode, not too sure, all of the continental competitions, their main comps are actually in 2015. So that's the Asian Cup, African Nations Cup, the Copa America with Peru, and the Central American Nations Cup with El Salvador. And possibly we could make it to the North American Gold Cup with El Salvador, depending on how we do in the Central American Nations Cup. So I think it's safe to say that the second aim of this series is going to be done quite quickly, because I essentially want I want to get all teams to the continental competitions. As you've just seen, China, they've made it. Africa with Morocco, they're hosting, so they made it. Peru are always in the Copa America, there's no qualifying. And El Salvador are always in the Central American Nations Cup, there's no qualifying for that either. But then it'd be nice to get to the Gold Cup, and I think if you get through to the semi-finals of the Central American Nations Cup, you go through to the Gold Cup as well. I've got to confirm that. So the only team really we need to look at is Romania, but with the fact there's now 24 teams, not 16, we've got a really good chance of getting there. So I think it's going to be done quite quickly. But because all the comps are in 2015, guys, the draws are being made in 2014. So what I'm going to bring you in this episode is the draws for all the competitions. So first up, which has actually already been done, is the Central American Nations Cup for El Salvador. And I actually do like this draw. We've got, as you can see, Belize and Nicaragua. Now, that's only a group of 3, and you go through to semi-finals. The actual schedule is, as you can see, groups, semis, and then final. And then the winners of the semis will obviously go through to the final. That's not what I was actually meant to say. But the semi-finalists, I believe, are the Central American representatives in the North American Gold Cup. There is also, I believe it's underneath this or above it somewhere, a Caribbean Championship, which also has representatives going through. And then you've obviously got USA, Mexico, and, well, that's it actually, because Costa Rica's in Central American Nations. So with that, guys, that's how that's been drawn, and the fixtures are done quite quickly. They're done in January, because then also, I believe, the Gold Cup is also done in 2015 as well, but later in the year. So we've got a good chance of having quite a few competitive games in 2015 with everyone, really. So that's what I'm quite enjoying, looking forward to, really. But as you can see, it's just mainly friendlies for this year. Salvador beating Dominican Republic 3-2, Saint Martin 3-1. Got Saint Martin in November. Now the next qualifying campaign, I believe, or draw, is, yes, it's the Copa America on the 18th of October. We then have the African Nations drawn on the 25th of October. They're currently going through qualifying at the moment. They're in round 2. And obviously, well, that's it. Apart from obviously the Gold Cup, which will hopefully be part of us, and that's in 2015. So what I'm going to do, guys, is, again, I don't play the friendlies, so they're going to be done quite quickly. I do believe Romania do actually have a qualifier against, yeah, we do. So we've got Finland first, Belgium, and then Northern Ireland. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to pause it, play this game, and also do the friendlies as well, and then I'll come back and hopefully bring you a live draw for the Copa America and the African Nations Cup as well, and the Asian Nations Cup when they're drawn as well. So basically this is going to be a specialist draw episode for the for all of the actual continental competitions. So I will be back in 2 seconds, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back. Copa America group has been drawn. Unfortunately, it wasn't a live one, which is a bit of a pain. Hopefully the African nations will be. But in the Copa America, we are in Group C with Paraguay, Uruguay, and Venezuela. So we've got Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, and Mexico's under 23s, I think. Group B, Argentina, Bolivia, Colombia, and Japan's under 23s. And then we've got Paraguay, Uruguay, and Venezuela in my group. So we'll just have a look at our fixtures. So we've got Venezuela first, Paraguay, then Uruguay. So probably the easier start, to be honest. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So yeah, as you can see, I'm 78th. We've had a massive drop. We've dropped about 40 places because, as you may have noticed, we've not actually won a game this year. So that's the Copa America, guys. In 6 days' time, we have the African Nations Cup qualifiers, and I will be back when that comes around. Okay, guys, we're back. with the African Nations Cup draw. It was actually a little later than it was showing on the system. I think that was mainly because actually when the date came around to when it's supposed to be drawn, the actual qualifiers had not been finished. Again, no live draw unfortunately. However, here we go. Group A with Algeria, Ghana and Mali. So it's going to be interesting because, as you can see, I am by far the lowest ranked team out of the 4. May even be one of the lowest ranked in the entire competition, to be honest. So that's who we've got: Algeria, Ghana, Mali. And the draw, the fixtures at least, are Ghana first and Mali then Algeria. And they're actually in January as well, so it's going to be a little interesting to see how that goes. There is one other draw to be done actually, which is the Asian Nations. Yep, takes place December as well. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I will go on holiday to there and then come back and hopefully get a live draw done for you at least. If not, we'll at least have all the draws completed. So I'll be back again in a second. Okay guys, we're back. Unfortunately again no live draw, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. It would be nice to show you guys that, but we'll just go straight into it. Here we are, Group B, with Japan, Jordan and Uzbekistan. Gonna be interesting. Not quite sure what's gonna happen there, because I mean, let's be honest, it's gonna be strong. I mean, Japan are obviously the top dogs as usual in that group. Jordan and Uzbekistan are going to be close, considering I've played Uzbekistan twice already and lost and drawn with them. But we've got Jordan up first, then Japan, then Uzbekistan. So it's going to be interesting ride, I reckon. But apart from that, it's been interesting draws for all the teams. It's going to be struggles, I reckon, to be honest with you. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But that's it for this episode, guys. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe. Tune in next time for the end of 2014 review, and we'll see how we're doing with Romania in the Euro qualifiers. And while this, I'll also go through how I'm going to do the 2015 or the competitions, because I'm not too sure how I'm going to do actually, because I also believe the African Nations and Asian Nations Cup take place at the same time, which is going to be a pain in the ass if that's correct. But that's it for this episode, guys, and like I say, tune in next time. Until then, as always, take it